Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Happy New Year. You know how it rolls, most we say Happy New Year until March. I hope this year is going to be great for all of us. Like if you look at my channel description, there's this verse that I really love that says that dear friend, I hope that you prosper concerning all things and that you prosper as your soul prospers. So I hope you guys also prosper. This channel is more than just about academics and careers. We also talk about wellness. So I hope this year is kinder to you. It's 2023, didn't go so well. It's a new start. We're starting over, and I hope this year is going to be kinder to us. I hope it's going to be a better year for all of us. I'm very excited to be making today's video. So I am going to be doing a giveaway to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. To show you my gratitude. We started on 0 subscribers in May 2023, and by 30 December 2023 we made it to 1,000 subscribers, and all thanks to you guys. I'm going to explain the rules for the giveaway at the end of the video, so please make sure that you watch this video throughout. I might give you a hint or two in the middle of the video, so please do not skip. Watch the video throughout if you want to enter the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be 2 Take-A-Lot vouchers that are worth 500 Rand each, making it 1,000 to say thank you to 1,000 subscribers. The giveaway is going to run from the day that this video is released until the 10th of February. So if you see this video after this date, the giveaway would have been closed. I will also say it on the description when it closes, and then I will announce the winner shortly after the 10th of February. So yeah, without further ado, let me tell you guys why I'm making today's video. So you guys, you know I love you guys, and I really enjoy interacting with you guys. I've been getting a lot of DMs either on LinkedIn. Sometimes some people do have my number, so on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram, and I am frequently asked more or less the same questions. I want to put this video together to one, explain to you guys, or share with you guys rather, what my plans for this year are for the channel and for me personally, and also answer your frequently asked questions, so that if I want to refer someone to a certain video, they can definitely watch this one. This is going to basically like summarize all the questions that I've been getting. I went through my comments and looked for comments that have questions. I went through all my DMs on LinkedIn as well as Instagram, just to ensure that just to ensure that every question that is frequently asked, I am able to answer it. Okay, so for the channel, the things that I've planned for this channel, so I want to divide, or not really divide, but have 4 categories that I'll be focusing on the channel. Something that I've been doing already, but just to have a bit more structure. So there is CIMA, there's the all things CIMA part of the channel, which is a big part of this channel. I've been asked if I would be willing to talk about other professional bodies. Definitely, something that I'm planning on doing later on in the channel, but CIMA will always be the one that shines because there's just not enough representation on the YouTube streets for CIMA, especially in South Africa, which is why I started the channel. So that will always be something that forms a big part of this channel. Then secondly, it's going to be academics. So I'm going to be focusing more on giving some sort of mentorship or advice to postgrad students, specifically who are doing their postgrad in financial management, whether it's the diploma or the honors, to share with you guys some of the things that I would have done differently, study tips and so on. That is going to be a big part of the channel as well. And then it's going to be adulting, careers, and all those things. I actually have an idea of wanting to include a podcast segment together with the career section. So like have guests coming over, either trainees, like other trainees in other professional bodies. I'm inviting maybe like a psych trainee, a CIPA trainee, or just people in different people from different industries as well, not just trainees but also seasoned professionals. And I think we're all going to get a lot of value from that. So the career section, and also obviously wellness. So with wellness, I'm going to be talking about mental health at work, mental health as a student, and all those things, anything to do with wellness, being spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, and everything well, so that you will prosper as your soul prospers. So yeah, that's the plan for the channel, and that's what we are going to be focusing on this channel. I'm also going to include other things, vlogs, obviously, like spend a day with me vlog at work, or working from home, whatever the case. I'm still going to see how that works out. I'm going to allow myself to just be free and explore different types of content as well, just to try out different things, and see what works. Am I going to do FLP? I got a lot of questions about this, so I'm not sure at this point if FLP is an option for me. So I will have to confirm a bit later if I'm going to be doing FLP. But for me, that is a preference. I would be thrilled, I would be excited if I can do FLP. If not, then I will continue with the traditional route. Am I going to be doing masters or PhD in the near future? So yeah, I did say in one of my previous videos that I will update you guys about the masters thing. So I'm not going to be doing my masters this year, because the master's program that I applied for is not really the one that I want. I applied for it because it was the only one still available. Honestly, I didn't think my marks would be good enough for masters during the year, so that's why I didn't apply early. And then when I saw that actually things are looking good and promising for me to be able to qualify for masters, by that time the masters programs that I want have closed. I just want to take a break from studying and focus on CIMA for this year, and then next year I'm going to be doing my masters. So at this point, I want to do my masters in financial management. It might change during the year, but that's the plan right now, either at UP or at UJ. PhD, I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't think so. At this point, I'm not really into academia as much, so I think PhD is more for people who are wanting to go into academia, and for me, that is not something that I am planning on doing. It might change in the future, but as for now, no. I will probably would want to do something like CFA. Was I able to secure CIMA articles? What are the requirements for CIMA articles? So the first part of the question, yes, I was able to secure CIMA articles for this year, or for the next 3 years really. And the requirements differ for different graduate programs and different CIMA articles. Some graduate programs usually require an average of 65%. So that 65% could be at your final year or cumulative. It depends on what they want. And then for this specific for the articles that I have applied for, the requirement was 55% cumulative average. So, but also take into account that this is the minimum requirement, right? So depending on how competitive the program is, the requirements would be something depending on how many candidates applied and what their marks look like. But also, I just want to say that when you are looking for articles or graduate programs, marks do play a part, but they're not everything. So they do look at other things other than marks. Maybe as an initial sifting, or I don't know what to call it, but as an initial selection, they do look at marks, but after that they look at other things like your presentation skills, for example, how you conduct yourself in an interview and things like that. So marks are not everything. So which CIMA level did I start at? So I started at the management level. I received exemptions up to my postgrad exempted me from the CIMA objective test. E2, P2 and F2. So I started with the management case study, which I completed. If you guys haven't seen that video, you can check out the previous video. So I am done with management level right now. I'm basically like a strategic level candidate. Okay, but I haven't started. Which university did I study at? I studied at UP for my undergrad and UJ for my postgrad. Why am I so passionate about CIMA? I love this question. Like, why am I so passionate about CIMA? So, well, from the content point, CIMA makes sense to me. From a content point, I enjoy the content of what we are studying. I enjoy the strategy, like the focus on strategy and analytical thinking, and how it's just like a blend of your finance knowledge together with your ability to like think about the risks and the strategy of a business. So for me, it's almost like I love how it's forward thinking. It is not just about analyzing financial statements. We go beyond that and we think about the business, the commercial part, the business, the financial part, the strategy and everything that comes together. For me, that it speaks to me. It's something that I enjoy studying. And then CIMA itself, the reason why I'm passionate about it, I think you guys have heard it many times now. I didn't find YouTubers on like in the South, sorry, but I struggled to find South African YouTubers who talk about their CIMA journey when I was looking for information. So I decided to be the change that I want to see. The main thing is that I want CIMA to be just as much of an option to people who are like in finance or accounting as much as CICA is, or CFA or CIPA or any other professional body. And for you to make an informed decision, like for you to know that, okay, this is actually something that you can thrive in, which is why I'm going to be documenting my journey from I started in postgrad all the way to articles and qualifying to show other people that this is something that can be an option for you as well. So those are all the questions about me. So yeah, the plan for this year is to do CIMA strategic level, and yeah, I have really exciting ideas for the channel. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click on the subscribe button right now. So I'm going to be answering these questions. For postgrad, it's going to be in general. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be at UJ for these things to apply to you. I will say whenever it's strictly for UJ, not strictly, but like, you know, really specific rather. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Should you do postgrad? I got this question in a lot, but in different ways. People asking if what are the advantages of doing postgrad and the disadvantages of not doing it. So one of the advantages of doing postgrad is the skills that you get. So there are a lot of skills that you get in postgrad, things like from technical or content wise. There's a lot of support that you get if you are pursuing CIMA that you wouldn't get if you were self-studying. So we all know that, or we should know by now, that CIMA has an option where you actually basically study yourself, or you can study with an institution. So if you do your honors, you get skills like writing skills, how you should answer questions, things like that. Those are things that you wouldn't get if you were self-taught or if you're studying by yourself. So that's one of the advantages. And secondly, it's job marketability. So there are some programs, graduate programs or CIMA articles that require you to have done your postgrad. So you wouldn't be able to apply for those jobs without a postgrad. Even other graduate programs, they would specifically say that they want people who have NQF 8 or honors, and you know, obviously honors or PGDFM if you are doing your postgraduate diploma in financial management. It's NQF 8 and you cannot apply for those jobs without it, right? Also, another thing is CIMA exemptions. So postgrad gives you additional CIMA exemptions that you don't have with just your undergrad. So when you have your undergrad BCom degree NQF7, you have exemptions up to the operational level, like you're exempted from the operational case study. Then you have to start at management level. And this also applies to ADFM, because ADFM is an equivalent of a BCom degree. So ADFM is the advanced diploma in ADFM, in financial management. So having your postgrad gives you additional additional exemptions from your E2, P2 and F2, meaning that you are starting CIMA at a higher level than someone who does not have postgrad, which is a great thing. I mean, less exams basically, but you're still getting the content. And then lastly is that it is structured compared to when you are self-paced. So since it is a structured program, you are going to be writing tests, you're going to be attending classes and everything like that, which is a bit more structured. This could be a disadvantage to someone else. These are just advantages in my opinion. Someone else could say that they actually want the flexibility, which takes me to the disadvantages. You are less flexible when you're doing postgrad compared to someone who is doing CIMA, like doing the CIMA exams and not going through postgrad. So with that flexibility means also there's an opportunity cost, because you might lose out on jobs, or you might have to hold off or choose between studying and working. So with that's the disadvantage, that you are not able, whether it's not recommended to work and do postgrad at the same time. I'm going to get into this in the next question, but yeah, so there's the opportunity cost that comes with it, and also you are losing out, not really losing out, but in terms of, I'm now comparing someone who did their BCom and went to work, and then someone who did their BCom and went to study. So the person who went to work has now work experience, they have skills, they're exposed to the real world of work, what that this theoretical person who is focused more on the studying is not exposed to. So that's one of the disadvantages. And also another thing is funding. Postgrad is not necessarily cheap. So it is a bit more expensive to do postgrad compared to doing CIMA exams. Obviously, that will also depend on your tuition provider if you do want to have a tuition provider. If you are studying CIMA by yourself, it will be cheaper. At UJ, for example, the tuition for postgrad for 2023 was about 35K. And you also need to consider that 35K does not include accommodation and textbooks and other things that you just need as a student. So it is a bit more expensive. So funding could be the reason why you shouldn't do, not really you shouldn't do, but it could be a reason why you wouldn't want to do postgrad and rather go to work. Can you do postgrad while you have an internship, a graduate program, or a job? So I know that there are people who do not have the privilege of being full-time students. Maybe you are self-funded, so you have to work, you don't have a choice, it's not a matter of preference. So with those people, I do understand. There are people in my class who were working while studying, and I will say that some of them did pass and some of them did not make it, which is a reality. So the program does not encourage you to work and study at the same time, because you are a full-time student. It is not part-time. However, I think you can manage it. So it depends on the flexibility that you get at work. So yeah, these are the things that you need to consider when you want to decide if you can work and study at the same time. The first thing is the flexibility from your job. If your job allows you to be flexible enough to actually attend classes, maybe some classes, or write your exams, then yeah, you can go for it. And also consider how many hours you're working. There are some jobs that have flexible work hours or remote work, where it's a hybrid situation. You don't have to go to the office or the location every day. With those people, they have the advantage of being able to attend classes as well. So yeah, the flexibility of your working hours needs to be factored in, and also the hours of the program. So I've gotten a lot of questions about how often are the classes and what time are they. You have classes 2 times a week. Each of those days that you have classes, there are 2 classes. So you have class on Tuesday and Thursday, and you'll have a class from 9:30 until about 11:20. Then you have a break, and then another class from 1 till like 1:40. So the classes were about 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes ish. So you will attend 2 modules on Tuesday and 2 modules on Thursdays. And then on Fridays, some Fridays we had group classes or tutorials. In total, we might have had about 10 of those. So they are not that frequent. They're not every week. Most of the weeks you don't have group classes. So how the program is structured is that on Monday you do pre-work for Tuesday. So the lecturers will release your pre-reading or your pre-work that has to be done on Monday, and you're going to do that. You don't go to class, but you have to do that. Let's say like maybe you need to pre-read the chapter or make summaries or do a quiz, whatever the case, on Monday for the modules that you're attending on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday you do the same for the modules that you're attending on Thursday. Then Friday, some Fridays you go to class, some you don't. So that's the structure of the program. And the tests, so we had 4 tests, 4-year tests that are cumulative, in a sense that you are tested. You have test 1, that test like got quarter 1-ish work, and then we had test 2 around May, that test the work that was done from the beginning of the year till May. Then you have another test in September, that test the work that was done from the beginning of the year until September. No, there's another one, I think July. Yeah, there's another one in July, and then there's another one in September. Then at in the middle of the year you have the group project. So you don't have June exams, you have the group project in June that you complete. Yeah. Each of those tests have different weightings. The last test weight obviously weighing more than the others. I think the main difference and the challenging part about postgrad is that it is not just about giving out calculations. Like in undergrad, they are testing if you know how to calculate something. In postgrad, it's more about the why. Why did you make this calculation? And the strategy, really thinking on your feet. Sometimes you are like asked questions and you're like, which part of the textbook is this? And it's not there. It's just you thinking on your feet. But don't stress. I will make a video about that. And yeah. And then yeah, advice for postgrad, like I said, I will make a video. I don't want this video to be too long. So FLP, we know that it is a faster pathway to qualifying because it doesn't have objective tests. So that means you only have the case study exams and not the objective tests in between to complete. Rather, instead of those, the objective tests are replaced with competencies that you need to meet, right? Instead of writing a test. So in that way, it is a faster pathway to qualifying, and also it is a fully online digital platform, meaning that it has a bit more flexibility compared to in person or other means of doing your traditional route. So it does offer that kind of flexibility. However, the disadvantage is that you might go through those competencies and pass them, like meet the competencies, but then the knowledge is not as in-depth because you don't have to like memorize stuff, right? You don't have to memorize stuff as with the traditional route. So in that way, you might want to just complete the task or the competencies without really having a thorough understanding. So it's very important that if you're doing your FOP, make sure that your basic knowledge or your theoretical knowledge is not lacking, because that will be a disadvantage to you when you are doing your what you call this, your case study. So that's the thing. The swift completion might overlook full understanding. That's how I wrote it on my notes, that basically just wanting to go through the competencies might be a disadvantage to you if you're just doing it for that. And for someone who is starting CIMA, at FLP. I think because you have not engaged with the content before FLP, the knowledge might not be as in-depth. I mean, this is my opinion. Like, yeah, this is just my opinion. But for someone who has done either, especially ADFM or Postgrad, I think FLP is great for people like that because they already have the knowledge, the understanding. They just need preparation for the case study. And also for people who have completed their qualification, their BCom undergrad qualification, they might not find FLP to be that difficult. But I just want you to take note of that whole thing with the preparation for the case study. How long does it take to complete each level? I've made a video about this. It takes as long as you want it to take because CIMA in many ways is self-paced, but also it depends on the program that you are in. So if you are doing postgrad, then it's going to, like, for example, for me to complete management level, if you were to ask how long did it take for me to complete management level, it took a year. And the reason why it took a year is because I was studying postgrad, which exempts me from management level. So that will depend on if you are in a structured program. Even with private tuition providers, they might have a certain time frame by which you have to complete it. But if you are doing CIMA by yourself and it's self-paced, the OTs or the objective tests are available on demand all year round. So you can take the test whenever you are ready to take it. And then the case studies are available 4 times a year. So you could, let's say, spend 3 months on each of the modules in each of those levels and then do the case study. So that will take about a year. But it depends on how long you want it to take. And then are there bursaries for CIMA? Yes, so there is. Facet has a bursary. That's the only one I know of. So Facet has this bursary for CIMA students who are at management level. I think you must have had you must be at the management level for you to qualify for that. There's another requirement. I will leave the link to that bursary on the description so you can check it out. The closing date is usually 30 June of that year. So right now applications are closed and I don't know when they will open, but I know that they will close on the 30th of June. Do you have any study material that you can share with us? That was the question. So if you are studying CIMA by yourself and you're looking for study material, there are tuition providers such as Astranti, Kaplan, there's Viva Tuition, there is IMAS or IMAS, I'm not sure how they say it. There are a lot of tuition providers. You can actually go to the CIMA website to check if the tuition provider is accredited. So that one will obviously come at a cost. And then there's also another website called opentuition.com. Opentuition.com is a free website that has CIMA notes, study notes and questions. It has limited information, so I don't think you can really rely solely on Open Tuition. I think it's more of a supplement. I've used it during postgrad as well. Is it possible to do CIMA articles at a company that is not a CIMA training office? Yes, it is possible. I've gotten this question quite a lot. So CIMA has a thing where it's called practical experience requirement. It is not like with CICA that requires you to complete your CICA articles at a CICA training office. With CIMA, you don't actually need to do CIMA articles per se for you to qualify or to meet your practical experience requirement. You could be in a graduate program that is finance related or that gives you exposure to the competencies that you need as per your PER. You could be in a full-time job. You could have already have experience. Let's say you are a professional already, you have been working, so the experience that you actually gathered over the years can count towards your PER. I will talk more about PER when I start completing my PER. I think I'll have a bit more knowledge because right now my knowledge is solely based on what I've read on the CIMA website about it. So you do not need to complete CIMA articles per se, but there are CIMA articles that are available. There are companies that offer CIMA articles. I'm so happy that you can actually look up CIMA articles these days and you actually find them. Like, this was not the case 10 years ago, as if I was looking for CIMA articles 10 years ago. But I'm just saying, like, we're actually moving towards that direction where companies actually have job adverts specifically for CIMA. What's better between CIMA and CICAM? Interesting question. I don't think it's a matter of what's better between the one or the other. They are different professional bodies. The one focuses on more on compliance and auditing and accounting, like IFRSs and everything, whereas CIMA focuses on strategy, on risk, on financial management. In terms of recognition of CIMA in South Africa, SAICA is more recognized because it is homegrown and they have like remarkable marketing of the SAICA brand, compared to CIMA in South Africa, which is still penetrating the market. It is not as widely known because it is not homegrown. But what CIMA lacks for in terms of advertisement and marketing, it makes up for in terms of the caliber of students that CIMA produces. But what they lack in terms of marketability and first mover advantage, they make up for in quality of professionals that it produces. How many exemptions do you get if you've completed your CTA? So there are people who say things like maybe they've exhausted their ITC attempts and now they want to do CIMA, either to do CIMA Vele because they want to do CIMA, or they want to do CIMA and then later at a later stage go back to SAICA or be dual designated in that way. CTA is not CIMA aligned, so the person who did undergrad in accounting and a person who did postgrad like CTA, PGDA, postgraduate diploma in accounting, they are the same in terms of CIMA exemption. If you've made it to this part of the video, it's time for the giveaway. So the rules for the giveaway are very, very simple. You just need to say like what content you enjoyed. You can say a certain video, specify a video, or just general content, because like you can see that on my channel I have like the part where I talk about CIMA, there's a part where I talk about postgrad, and there's a part where I talk about mental health and failing and all those things, and there's also a part about the interviews. I actually did like 2 videos with regards to that. So just mention maybe the video or the type of video that you liked in 2023 and why, and mention the video that the kind of content that you like to see from me in 2024, and hashtag giveaway, so that I can know that you are doing it to enter for the competition. Like I said, it closes on the 10th of February, so you can comment between now when you see this video and the 10th of February. I want to give a shout out to my sister. My sister is, honestly, I love you guys, but in terms of subscribers, she is the one person who is like my top subscriber. The support that she gives me is really amazing, and I just want to say thank you to her for how much she has supported me throughout this channel, always holding me accountable, always encouraging me, and I really appreciate it. She comments on every video, and she's not even studying finance or anything related to it, but she still watches my videos. She's not gonna be entering the competition because I'll be biased. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.